Hello everyone, Matt from Model Minutes here, and welcome back to the workbench for another unboxing. Today I'm taking a look at this, a F-4E Phantom model plane from the Royal Air Force. So let's get stuck inside the box of this kit and see what this is like. So this is something I bought a few years back, and it was under my rule of if I go into a model shop I need to support them in some way, and I went into the model shop. I only had like 5 minutes in the shop to look around because I was busy with other things, and I was like, this looks really interesting. Never seen this before in my life, so I picked this one up. Plus also it was super cheap, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, on the outside you can see we've got a Phantom, the F-4E in particular. I don't know how accurate that was. I don't really know if the RAF used F-4Es. I'm sure someone will tell me if they did. Down here it says Royal Air Force and trademarked, so I presume this is officially licensed, and it's 1 to 125th scale, which is a slightly odd scale. If we flip over to the back of the box, you can see that we've got some statistics about the actual F4. Its maximum speed, its armament, and so on. It also tells us that we have stickers included. Interestingly, not decals, we have stickers, and it is a snap together model. There's no glue required. On the thin edges we do have the same image as before, so you can see it on the shelf. On this side here it tells us that there's other ones to collect as well. There's apparently an F-35 and an Apache to go along with this, but I've not seen those ones. So we'll flip over to this side here, and now we do have a little bit more information. We've got an item code of 40613, and it tells us down here that this is made by someone called the Perkins Group, and I actually looked them up, and they seem to be almost like a distributor. They've got like a license for RAF stuff, and they sell cheap RAF kind of licensed, it's almost like promotional material, so you can get like inflatable gliders and umbrellas and things like that. So obviously this must have been one of the things that they had at the time when I bought this. I don't see this on the website now, but yeah, interesting. There is also a QR code for the RAF recruitment page, so I suppose this is a good way of advertising people to find out more about the RAF, I suppose. Let's have a look inside the box then and see if this genuinely is a model plane, a model kit. There is a price sticker that's just fallen out. I do have the price there, but I'll keep that to one side, so that we'll look at that in a minute. So first up, instructions are very... It must have been me. I don't know if I put them in like that or if that's how they actually were. So, tiny little sheet. And it's basically the same information we've seen on the front of the box and the rear of the box. So we come onto this side, and this is our assembly. And you can just see it's basically an exploded diagram showing us where all the different bits go together. It says that we can take out the base. So we have a display stand. We have a display stand, which is pretty cool. We can take that out and put a pod of some kind, probably a fuel tank, on the bottom instead. But basically you have to follow the instructions to assemble this. Landing gear parts, this looks like a bit like a Lego-y kind of model. Like it's a construction toy rather than a serious model kit. But yeah, I think following the instructions will be fairly straightforward. And then that brings us on to the parts. Where are the stickers? Have we got stickers? Oh, hang on. Yes, we do have stickers. Let's look at the stickers before we go on. There we are. There's our stickers. Yeah, interesting. They are like vinyl, and I actually, hang on, let's see. Are they all one piece? Oh wow, you have to cut them out. It's just one piece of like clear vinyl. You've got to cut your individual stickers out, which is amazing. Yeah, that's interesting. It doesn't. Those don't look anything like the ones on the box, do they? You've got the tail surfaces have got a different. They're like Union flag, aren't they? And then those roundels don't match. And then Royal Air Force. I don't know where that would have gone on there, but yeah, interesting. I think it's just like free to do what you want. Cool. Right. Well, let's now look inside the bag. I don't think I ever had this open. This is still like factory sealed. Let's see what we've got. Oh. So we do genuinely have a sprue of parts which we have to cut things away from. This is moulded in a light blue plastic. I don't feel any grease or mould release on there. It's relatively dense plastic. It looks like we have our fuel tanks and pylons for it. There is some ejector pin marks on there which we might have to clean up because otherwise it won't necessarily fit too well. And we also have our missiles, which are joined together by some sort of support part. Not much in the way of detail, so definitely very much leaning on the toy side of things rather than a serious model. We do have our cockpit canopy here, again quite simple, a little bit crude. It's molded in this tinted like amber, or I think they're probably going for more of a smoke effect. Bit of flash there, which might need a little bit of trimming away. We have our landing gear here as well, which is a little bit chunky. Again, it's on this sprue, which makes an interesting choice. I think actually you could probably mask that. I think the frame lines there are going to be easy to follow if you wanted to do masking on it. That could be an interesting project. I know this is obviously like a toy now that we've got it out of the box, but it could be interesting to figure out like if we could make it look more realistic. Now we have a display stand, and there is like a little logo on here. It says 4D, and I know that there is a company out there, or almost like a brand, called 4D Puzzles. They make this kind of stuff, so this does appear to be one of those, just reboxed. I don't know a great deal about them. I get the impression that they're sort of cheap model kit toys, really. So we've got our display stand here, which comes molded in this black plastic. Yeah, it's all right, isn't it? That'll do okay for a bit of fun. And then we have our actual plane, and you can see all the parts to just loose in the bag. I hope they're all here. And like the wing components, you can see we've got recessed panel lines, very thick, very trenchy. We also have tail surfaces, fuselage parts. You can see that it is very much like a Lego type construction kit where everything sort of snaps together with a bit of difficulty. I don't want to snap it together because if I come to build this, then I don't want to run the risk of not being able to actually put it together. There obviously was a sprue or something at one time, because there is a bit of a sprue gate there that's going to need cleaning up. It looks like it's all going to need a little bit of a clean up. Yeah, interesting. I wonder how accurate this is going to be when I actually come to build it. I think this would make just a quick, fun little mess about kind of side project. I think that probably goes in there actually, doesn't it? You take this, see if I can make it look reasonably presentable. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. So let's round this one up. We had our main plastic parts, by the looks of it, molded in this sort of bluey grey plastic. Recessed panel lines are overly thick. I mean, you got some interesting details on like the tail surface here. You can see you've got like engine exhausts. It's interesting, isn't it? And then we had our two sprues. I'm not going to call them clear parts, they're tinted, aren't they? And then also our ordnance, a display stand. So I suppose if I don't want to include the wheels, I can have it in a flying pose. Instructions, very simple, fairly easy to follow. Nothing about where to place your stickers. Stickers are just printed on one sheet, so you're going to have to cut them out. And it came inside this box. So yeah, I was in a model shop and I thought I need to support them somehow. I just best grab something quick. I grabbed this. I thought it was a bit of an oddity. I wanted to know what it was like. And I paid a whopping £1.99. So that just goes to show, doesn't it, how cheap this product is. It's very much aimed at the younger market. It's going to be more of a toy than anything else. It's not really a serious model. I did do a bit of Googling before I started recording this video to try and find out information about this actual kit, like if there was a tooling date for it, but it just seems really difficult to find that. But yeah, I think for something to mess around with, £2 can't really go too wrong. It's not necessarily a serious model, but something maybe to fill 20 minutes, half an hour. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build it up and then try and make it look a little bit more realistic with, you know, actual painting and stuff. So if you'd be interested in that, let me know down in the comments. But for now, though, I think that's pretty much it from me. So let me know, what did you think of my quick look at this fairly strange little model kit? And do you think my assessment of it was fair? Don't forget that we do have a Model Minutes Model Club. And if you'd like to join the club and get exclusive access to early videos and other perks, check out the links in the description. Massive thanks to these guys on screen, whose support allows me to create consistent content. There are other ways to help support the channel, and again, information is below the video. The best way to support the channel for free, though, is by subscribing with notifications turned on so you never miss a modelling upload. Finally, though, last thing to say is a massive thank you to you for watching this one, and I'll see you on the workbench again next time.